Apologies for the poor sound quality, poor picture quality. Basically, and the place a mess. It's a complete mess. Even Henry the Hoover is out at the moment, but I'm recording or trying to record a pinball video. So all the microphones and lights and good cameras and stuff, they're all over there. So apologies for today. At least a bit of a bitty video today, because I do want to discuss Felipe Anderson later on, but the comments on the last few days have been so good that I think there's just a few things I'd like to address and look back on, particularly in light of the football fleecing fans debate, really. And there's a couple of people that have posted comments where you've apologised for disagreeing with me and putting a counter argument. Please don't. Everyone's been really pleasant, very, very polite, and it's fine. We're nothing if we can't have the counter argument and a different perspective and a different point of view, of course. What I did, I felt very much during the video that I'd missed a little bit of the gist out, and I completely skipped a whole section, which thank you for posting it underneath, because only when I'm reading the comments, I meant to say that, but we all know what it's like. You mean to say something and you forget and you only think about it afterwards. So the first one was on the illegal streaming bit, really. And I mean, I think if I were to sum up what I think is happening with football by and large, and not just now, I think it's been the way for quite a while, is that football treats fans like an ATM machine. And they just keep coming back and putting the card in and pressing the buttons and taking our money. And I think they're so entrenched in the habit of doing so now that they don't know how to stop. They can't stop. They've been removed from reality for such a long time that once you remove the platitude of a club's press department saying that fans are important, actually the people at the top have completely forgotten what it's like, and that's why they surround themselves with yes men. And then when the feedback comes through from all fans by and large of every single fan base, may I say, they still can't change their ways. They still won't relent. They will still continue to charge people 15 quid for a game. And I didn't feel in the video yesterday, I didn't really labour the point enough. I felt that these are extra games. We've already paid your Sky subscription. We've already paid BT. They already have their money. This is not about the money, them getting the money that they're owed. They got it. The matches were played. It's about extra money. And I just think there were so many good comments there about it. As football fans, we're quite tribal, aren't we? We're quite partisan. And often I think team rivalries, they sort of supersede any arguments. You know, a lot of time reasonable debate goes out the window because you just think your team's best and your colours are best and this, that and the other. And you know, understandably so. Cut me open, I bleed claret and blue, as they say. So football should really wake up and smell the coffee when they see all the fans, regardless of team, regardless of support, regardless of colour of kit or, you know, whatever crest or badge, to see everybody come together should really be telling them something. The club should be thinking, if they're all saying it, it must mean something. And this is where it goes on to illegal streaming, really, because if you remember when West Ham were playing in the Carabao Cup, we were playing when we played Charlton in particular. If you remember, the EFL was streaming that on their own website, so all the money was going to the EFL clubs. And if you remember, we played 2 games, and I actually said, I'm paying this tenner. It was a tenner to watch the game. I don't mind paying it because I think it's for the good of grassroots football. I don't mind paying this tenner at all. I knew it was a good thing because I do think it's very important that you separate the EFL from the Premier League, because the Premier League have not got this whopping great television. Sorry, the EFL have not got this whopping great television deal that the Premier League have got. So I didn't mind giving them a tenner at all. I thought, you know what, it'll help out. They need it. There's people losing their jobs. That's absolutely fine. But I do begrudge giving the Premier League 15 quid because they don't need it. The fact that the Premier League, people like Arsenal in particular, they lay off a load of people recently on minimum wage. They don't need to. They're a mega rich club. How can you lay off people that earn 8-9 quid and then go buy someone for 50 million? It's morally wrong. You shouldn't be doing it. These are people's jobs. These are people's livelihoods. And football's too rich. And I sort of understand it, really, when the government are saying, sort yourselves out. You've got a lot of money. And when you see so much money going towards agents, I sort of understand that as well. Sorry, I'm getting off the tangent a little bit. I do want to talk about streaming in just a second, but I think this is important because Rick Parry of the EFL has turned around and he said, well, hold on, the theatres are getting money and this, that and the other are getting money. Well, I think the difference is, and something that I didn't see pointed out today, is the theatres have not got a whopping great £6 billion TV deal. I'm pretty sure if the theatres and I don't it's the arts and galleries and things like that. If art galleries and theatres and places like that had a £6 billion Sky deal and international rights, I bet they wouldn't be getting any money either. The whole point is football has a load of money, they're just not divvying it out well enough. But that's a slightly different argument anyway. But I do feel that the EFL should be treated differently to the Premier League. And that's why I do feel that we should really be quite staunch in our refusal to give them any more money. But what it does is it's bad for them too. And because what it does is it forces people to illegal stream. Now, they don't want to illegal stream. They don't want people to illegal stream. I'd rather not illegal stream, which is why I said I don't mind giving the EFL the money, because I know it goes to a good cause. And also, it's quite nice to have a stable view of the match. It's not going to cut in and out and buffer and do all those things and just drop out for no apparent reason. Not a problem at all. And I think the majority of people, if they felt the money was genuinely going to their club and it was being used in an honest way, they would buy a season ticket or something like that. But what it does by making these pay-per-view games 15 quid, someone corrected me and said, oh, by the way, it's $14.95. It's 15 quid, right? By charging 15 quid, they don't get very many 15 quids. Make it a fiver and you get a lot of fivers. It's pure and simple economics, as somebody pointed out in the chat yesterday. And what happens is, at 15 quid, they are actually forcing people to do the very thing that they don't want them to do, which is go over and find an illegal way to go and watch the product that they're trying to sell. Well, the fact of the matter is, you're selling it too dear. That is exactly and precisely the problem. Not only are you selling it too dear, people already feel that they've paid for it. So people think, okay, I've ticked all the boxes. I've got me Sky, tick. I've got me BT, tick. I've got me Amazon Prime, tick. Lovely. Where's me football? Oh, you want me to pay some more? And at that point, people have just had enough. So, of course, they're going to go and look for, if they can get it for free, then they're going to go and do so. But there's somewhere between free and 15 quid that might actually entice people to go and pay for it. And as somebody has mentioned, Simon Jordan talks a lot about this on TalkSport, and I make him absolutely right on this particular thing. Somebody's even mentioned it in the comments in yesterday's video. And that is that the Premier League should make their own streaming service. And I have often agreed with that. Until now. And I'll tell you what's changed, by the way. What's changed now is I now look at it and think, actually, if the Premier League did do their own streaming service and cut Sky out the equation and everybody else, they'd absolutely kill us for money. Because I think I naively had it in my mind. What do you pay for Netflix? Not £9, is that right? I think it's about £9. I think I pay about £9 a month for Netflix. So you can pay a bit more if you get it in a 4K. Quite frankly, if I ain't got my glasses, I ain't seeing nothing in 4K. I'm not seeing anything in HD. Everything is very, very blurry. It's like watching that big TV that my mum had back in the 70s. That's what my eyesight's like at the moment. So I don't do the 4K. I think I give about £9 to Netflix. Now, I was guilty of thinking, well, hold on a second. We're gonna have to accept this. This is going to be a good thing. It's going to be a similar amount of money to Netflix. Well, it's not though, is it? They've already drawn a line in the sand. They've already showed their intent. They've already shown what they're willing to do. I think if the Premier League did its own streaming service, I think there would be two options. I think number one would be an option for you to get every Premier League game. I think the other option would be just for you to buy, in essence, a season ticket to watch your club from the comfort of your own home or shed. It wouldn't be a Netflix amount, would it? Let's be perfectly frank here. It wouldn't be a Netflix amount. I reckon they'd charge us 50 quid a month. I do. And 50 quid a month is what? 600 quid a year, right? Well, 600 quid a year, funny enough, my season ticket to actually go to the game is £500 a year, right? You can't charge more than a season ticket. And I may well be being conservative with my estimate there, by the way. It may well be that they charge a lot more than that. So it's not like we're caught between a rock and a hard place. We are just screwed whatever we do. It's not like we have a way to turn. If Sky and BT and those companies, if they retain the rights, then they'll continue to screw us. If the Premier League build their own streaming service, they'll screw us. And it just seems whichever way, whatever happens, we're getting our trousers pulled down. And it's just bad, and it's just wrong. And I know I was a little bit upset about it when I spoke about it yesterday. But I wasn't going to talk about this today, to be fair. There are football things to talk about, and we will talk about them. I think I might leave Felipe Anderson until tomorrow because I talked for too long on this one. If you don't mind, I'll just upload it as a separate small video maybe later on in the day or something like that. But it's not good enough, and something needs to be done. And a number of people have said in the comments, well, fans need to get together to put a stop to this. I don't think it matters. As someone that has been on a march of 8,500 people, I don't even think you get noticed. Even if everybody did that outside every ground, obviously you can't do it at the moment for COVID restrictions for obvious reasons. But even once it's safe and legal to do so, I still don't think they'd listen. Not only do I not think they'd listen, having seen what I've seen with the Hammers United marches and stuff like that, I'm not even entirely sure if all of football mobilised and all the fans got together and all the fans protested in a synchronised mass demonstration at every football ground, I'm not entirely sure that Sky or BT would even cover it.